Have you ever wasted food? And do you know the influence of wasting food? Leftovers in the world are being sorted away by tens and thousands of tons every year. But famine still exists in many areas. So, how can we solve the problem? And what can we do to decrease the waste of food and make good use of unfinished leftovers?
That's why we want to work on this topic, and let's begin at our presentation today. Leftover food research in Taichung. I'm Iris, and this is Jacob, Jenny, Winnie, and Stephanie.
This is the overview of our presentation. First of all, we will talk about why we want to work on this topic and show you the process of our study.
Next, we will organize and list the information of leftover agencies in Taichung. Then, we will show the result of our interview and questionnaire followed by the conclusion.
In this modern society, the food choices have become richer and more diversified. But on the other hand, the problems of uneven food distribution and the waste of food have worsened year by year.
All over the world, there are around 70 million people suffering from starvation and malnutrition. But 1.3 billion pounds of food are discarded every year. Therefore, we hope to take Taichung as a starting point to explore solutions and raise people's awareness of reducing food waste.
There are three main purposes of our study. First, we look at historical data and compare them with the current situation to figure out the best solution of too much leftovers. Second, we would like to raise the awareness of cherishing food.
To conduct our study, we employ two methods. The first one is to find some leftover food organizations in Taichung and interview those who in charge of these agencies by telephone.
The second one is using the questionnaire to investigate people's thoughts on leftover and how they reduce food waste. Through these methods, we hope to learn more about how to deal with this food waste issue.
We did research and found many major leftover food agencies. Now, let's look at some famous ones. First of all, the farming surplus.
The business strategy is to insist on no food waste. They use ugly fruits and vegetables to cook a delicious meal. Through this process, it not only reuses the food, but effectively increases the environmental awareness.
In the future, farming surplus also helps to distribute more homemade leftover dishes of fruits and vegetables to those in need.
In addition to this special restaurant, we also found that there are 13 community refrigerators in Taichung. If you have surplus or unnecessary food, you can donate your food except instant food, perishable fruits and vegetables to community refrigerators.
After introducing some community refrigerators, we want to talk about food banks. Taichung currently has 3 physical stores, which are located in Central District, Xialu District, and Fengyuan District.
Taichung government and non-profit organizations funded a mobile food bank to distribute some daily necessities, such as rice, diapers, milk powder, oil, and so on. However, there are 31 distribution stations, 8 food exchange platforms, and 14 retail stores in Taichung.
We not only did research on food agencies in Taichung, but also conducted several interviews to see if there are ways to reduce food waste.
We interviewed the convenience store's owner and the head of environmental protection team in our school.
Through the interview, we got more precise information about how they reduce the leftovers. Next, we are going to talk about the result of our interviews.
When interviewing the 7-Eleven owner in our school, we found that staff will pick out the label items, which will expire in 8 hours, and adopt the iTrash's plan to sell those items at 30% of price. Moreover, they will adjust the order to reduce the number of unsaleable products.
Then, we interviewed the head of the school's environmental protection team and asked him how much leftovers are there each month. We learned that the month before the day we interviewed him, there are about 1,750 kilograms of food waste in Mengdao, but they deal with it in many ways.
For example, school will use machine to make excessive kitchen waste into liquid fertilizer to nurture plants.
They will also use rice oil to make environmentally friendly soap milk, or as the manufacturers to deal with the food. Plus, our school also cooperates with legal pig farms.
After looking at some major waste shop owners deal with leftovers, let's see how much the general public knows about the leftover organizations and look at their ways of dealing with ugly fruits and vegetables.
We asked whether people have heard of any leftover food agencies. 71% of the respondents say yes, while there are still 29% of the respondents not knowing any.
We also asked how people deal with leftovers. As shown in the pie chart, 59% of people will throw away the remaining ingredients into kitchen waste or trash cans after cooking. 22% of the respondents will make compost. 9% of people will continue to eat or give them to neighbors, while a few of them will take the left materials to make cleansing liquid.
As for how to reduce food waste both at home and when they dine out, according to a chart, we can know that 31% of people make purchases of food based on their appetite. 24% pay the unfinished food from the restaurants and take them home.
23% will store food correctly to reduce food waste. 30% will send food to relatives and friends. 9% of the people will use food for other purposes.
After looking at all those results, we come to a conclusion on how to handle leftovers wisely. Nowadays, people are pursuing higher quality of their diet, and what are the most effective methods we should use to deal with these leftovers for sustainable use without waste?
In the process of the interview, we learned the most effective way to make use of leftovers are turning leftovers into fertilizer and environmentally friendly soap milk. So, there should be more lessons provided by authorities concerned on making fertilizer and soap.
And these are some suggestions for shop owners, such as adopting a social plan and adjusting a menu so as to reduce food waste.
As for some practical suggestions we concluded from the questionnaire, the first one is that people should stick to the principle of purchasing as much as they can to achieve the effect of not wasting food.
Secondly, people should pack unfinished food for the restaurant. Third, they need to learn to store food correctly to reduce food waste, or share foods with relatives and friends.
After our studies of leftovers, we hope you have learned more ways to reduce food waste. And if each of us can make an effort to avoid wasting food,
This world can be made a better place.
Thank you.
9 minutes, 9 seconds.
Good job. I think this is a really informative and useful research, and I have learned a lot from you. Thank you. So if you can choose one target customers to persuade them to probably donate the money from them, what kind of customer you will choose? What kind of group you would like to present?
You mean our target customer? Because our our customers are from teenagers, so we think that our target customers will be teenagers, and in this age, we think that we have the peers are influential with us. So I want to donate this, maybe I'll ask her to donate it with me, and it will be a large amount of.
Yeah, according to your results, that 70%, more than 70% of people know that, heard of leftover organizations, right? But still, 30% of the people still have no idea about what leftover organization is, right? But 90%, it's nearly 97% of students, the people know that it's necessary to promote this kind of leftover organizations. So, what kind of strategies can you use to promote this kind of knowledge to the public?
And we use the internet and questionnaire we to present to our to know this topic.